This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
And I look forward to these Tuesday shows because you just never know what's going to go on. Internet connection or whatever, even in the studio, it's fabulous what's been happening lately. So I've been looking forward to this show for almost 2.5 months because not only is this strange young lady that we become friends with in Florida, I always say there's no time to clean, listen to Pauline. I enjoyed talking to her on the phone, but I really look forward to her book because I read a little bit of the PDF that she sent me, and it is fabulous. I'm a clean freak. If you guys have never seen me clean, it's a treat to watch because I'm a clean black guy. I can't stand mess. It's all about cleaning up stuff. If I was in Chicago, I'm sure I'd be cleaning up after Kendall and Linda all the time too. I just know it. But here's the thing about this. I love the ladies. I love what they do. I'm so honored to have them as friends, and I look forward to talking to them all the time. So I got to say hi to everybody around the world. Maria out of Cyprus. Obviously, Katerina out of she's in Greece right now. Trixie still in Texas. There's a bunch of Danielle in Portugal. We have a great worldwide following right now. And then obviously Linda Steele's on tonight, so I'm sure her fans will be chomping in as usual, right, Linda?
I'm hoping.
And Kendall, happy birthday, happy birthday, Kendall. I think even Natasha will even send it to you. I'm really happy that you're getting up there. I've been watching you behind the scenes, and congratulations to all your success because you guys work your butts off for Macro-Made Meals. So with that, let's talk to everybody. Let's start off with this. Linda, let's talk about what's been happening with you first, and then we'll go to Kendall and then Pauline.
Are we talking about my personal life or business? Because there's so much going on.
Both. Tell, dude. Yeah. Oh, you look good tonight. Look at her hair. It's fabulous.
So my mom just suffered a stroke a week ago, but she is like it never even happened. I brought her to the neurologist, and there she is right now. She just said, hi, JoJo and Linda. It was such a scary situation, but she came out of it great, and we're so happy. She is such a big part of our life, so that was so detrimental to all of us for a short period of time. We were terrified, but she's doing great, so that's good. We have Macro-Made Meals is picking up right now because it's the end of the summer, and people are starting to put orders in again. They're done grilling outside, they're done vacationing, they're done going to happy hours and outdoor rooftop bars and so forth. So we have Macro-Made Meals picking up speed again. My gym has been up and running for a couple months. The membership base is picking up. Yep. So that's good news. I have more clients coming on my schedule. People from, people that I've trained years ago are back, and even several new members are coming in, new clients that I'm picking up. So I have been just out of my mind crazy, moving and shaking as usual.
And Kendall, what about you?
Well, honestly, pretty much the same thing. I feel like me and my mom almost have the same schedule. Obviously, she works more hours than I do, but I'm also managing the gym that just opened, and Macro-Made Meals is finally picking back up. But we also were handling my grandma, who unfortunately had a stroke. So yeah, we've had a lot going on lately, but hopefully things settle down a little bit and we can get back focused on the business and all of that.
You really work hard. I mean, I couldn't be proud of you. We've never met in person, but I feel like I know you really well because I've been watching you for the longest time. I don't know how you guys balance doing Macro-Made Meals. You guys switch off on I'm in charge today. I'm in charge at the gym. How do you guys do? How do you two women do that? First of all, Linda's shaking her head.
Kendall, I'm gonna let you answer that.
I would just say like a lot of communication is everything. So if we're not communicating, then things just get messed up. We have to be communicating pretty much all day to know what we're going through on a daily basis and where we can help each other fill in the blanks.
This morning, it's funny, we ran into each other in the kitchen, and Kendall could feel my energy. She felt my energy. I didn't even have to tell her what was up today, but before she even walked out the door, she walked out before I did, and she said, "What do you need me to do as soon as I get there?" Like, she could feel my energy, that I was already stressed out before I even walked out the door. So she knew it was just going to be one of
scary
those
sometimes.
See, and I love that photo of you two. I just think it's cute. So Kendall, was her hair in a ponytail when you walked into the kitchen, or what? Because we know what happened to Linda's hair is.
I don't even remember. I really don't even remember. But probably.
It was like, yeah.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like this first thing in the morning. I hadn't even taken the first 5 sips out of my coffee.
She had a whole list of things that I needed to get done. I'm like, can you just give me 10 minutes to wake up and get ready with my day?
So Pauline, imagine this. Imagine living in Chicago, getting up early in the morning, opening the gym. Linda, not 1, but 2 at that point. Now she's back down to 1. But also now you've got to turn around and end up helping out and assisting the CEO, who's Kendall, your daughter. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Now cleaning up after that. Imagine that. Take it away, Pauline.
Well, I have to say, first of all, that I'm just really thrilled to be on with you, Brian. I'm really excited to share this book that was written actually almost 33 years ago. It finally just got published. And in addition to that, I'll be working, I already started working with Katarina, to start promoting the book on the media end. So I just think that this is a really fantastic time. I think that the powers that be kind of made me wait for the right time for the book to get published, with COVID-19 going on and everybody being home all the time, and really needing to, kind of de-stress a little bit. And so learning about a system, not just cleaning tips and tricks, because there's a million books out there with that, right? But learning about a system so that you can get it done and get it off your mind and kind of reclaim your weekend. So I'm really happy to be here.
And you're also a bestseller now, too. Talk about that being a thrill.
It is a thrill. I don't even know what to say. So this whole thing has been like within 3 months, right? Working with Hasmark, I was like, I think I'm going to publish my book now. I was like, okay, 3 months later, your book is published and it's a bestseller. You're like, wait, what happened? What just happened? So it's exciting. And now I'm pushing for international. That's going to happen with Katarina.
Good for you. I can see that coming. Got any tips for Linda? Because Linda, I think, is almost done writing her book. She's also going to be working on a movie, if not the end of this year or next year too. So how does she have time to clean?
How does she have? Well, I think she needs to read the book.
I don't have to read the book. What if I don't have time to read the book? Is it on tape yet?
It is not on tape yet. That is actually, I've got 2 things in the mix back there. One is a Spanish version. And then the audio version, yeah. Okay. But it's a really small book, and it really would behoove you to just find some downtime, even if you only found 15 minutes, which I know you would never be able to put it down in 15 minutes. But
right.
It's a very small manual, but it was intended to not be boring, and it really gets straight to the point.
It sounds like something I would actually love to read.
I think I always hate saying this because I wrote the book, and I don't want people to think it's like, oh, she's, trying to promote the book. It has never been about me. When I got the idea to write the book, when I finally, took the plunge to publish the book, somebody once asked me, what were you thinking? And I was like, well, I can tell you this. I was never thinking about Pauline. Like, the word I never came into mind. It was when I discovered this system that I came up with, because I was a single mom. My daughter was 5. I decided to go to college 10 years later than the average student. And I had no child support, so it was me and whatever money I made. So I put myself through school full time with cleaning, and being so busy, I just kind of figured out a system, because every day, I'd go to a house after I have 4 classes, and I had to pick up my daughter at a certain time. So I had to get things done, and so I would challenge myself, and I'd get in the house and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do this 10 minutes quicker than I did last week, and I would find a way. And at the same time, being in college, I was working on a business management degree, and I had the opportunity to take some really interesting classes, and learning about studying how to be productive, right? A lot of times people think, well, management's about, finances and whatever, but it really is learning how to manage people and how to manage time so that you can be productive. And so with a couple of classes that I had, and experiments that I had read about that they were doing to increase productivity, I thought, wow, one of the theories was, like, I think it was like with Ford Motor Company, you have a conveyor belt, and instead of one person doing 7 things, for example, to one item, they tried it with one person doing one thing to an item, and then the next person just doing one thing, and they realized that increased productivity. So I started thinking about cleaning instead of, how we just run all over the house and we're like all over the map. You go in this room, that room. We'll say, okay, I'm going to start cleaning, and you go in the kitchen and you start doing dishes. So now just realize what I just said to you guys, right? Cleaning and dishes. We're not cleaning the house, you're doing dishes. So, and then you start doing the dishes, and then you see something on the kitchen counter that belongs in the bathroom counter. So you walk all the way across the house into the bathroom to put it away in the right drawer. And then you open the drawer and like, wow, this is a mess. And you start organizing the drawers. And then people go, wow, it takes so long to clean. Well, that's because you're not cleaning, you're doing everything else. So the book gives really good guidelines about breaking things down. And all we're doing is the cleaning. If you want to organize, you can do it the night before. You can do it a couple hours ahead of time. But we're not picking up things. We're not doing dishes, not doing laundry. We're not putting things where they belong. Those are all different tasks, right? So people get upset about their house not being clean, but it might be just that if they want it to be organized. But if you want it to be clean, then that's all we're going to talk about. So that's why I say the book really gets right into it. It starts off with the mentality, right? The attitude that we have. And it gives you exact ideas. It's not saying, oh, just smile and be happy. It tells you exactly what to do, right? Buy colorful, we call them cleaning cloths. We no longer call those rags. We don't go in the garage and get our husband's oily white, old face cloth rags or whatever, or his socks or whatever. You know what I mean? We go on Amazon and we buy these pretty, I'm sure you guys have seen them everywhere. They're at every store, right? They're microfiber and they're beautiful colors. We talk about how you dress. A lot of times people think, well, I'm cleaning, so that's a gross job and it's a dirty job, so I don't need to look good. And what I say is, the way I explain it is, dress the way you would if you were smack in the middle of cleaning and your best friend that just popped into town to surprise you and knocks on the door and she sees you cleaning and says, hey, let's go to lunch. You literally could take your gloves off, wash your hands, and go to lunch. So what does that mean? It's not a sloppy, dirty shirt and, torn up jeans. Well, I guess that's the fashion, so there could be cool ones, right? or sneakers or whatever, and a ponytail with no makeup, right? It's feel good about yourself. There is no reason. I talk about all the years of cleaning. I have never ruined any clothes. Now, of course, if you're going to use bleach, you want to be a little careful, but there's no reason to have to feel like a slob because of the type of job that we're doing. And that really changes your attitude a lot, I talk about the exact supplies to get together. In this book, I don't make product recommendations yet. In social media, I do. They're called Pauline's Pearls. They come out every once in a while, and it will have a product recommendation, but I don't do that in the book. The other thing I stay away from is talking about green cleaning. And there's a reason for that, because you could write several books just on that topic. So I tell people what you should do is just talk to your friends and family, or if you already have something you love, because the bottom line about this is always you, right? I could tell you this is the most fantastic product ever. If you don't like it and it doesn't work for you, then that's not cool. So I'm always recommending whatever makes you happy, do things the way you have to do. And even with the system, right? If you start the system and you decide, well, I want to change it up. I like doing this better first or whatever. That's fine. But this is a really good guideline to teach you how to use this system and to have a good attitude about something that normally takes us forever, that now can take us 3 hours. I mean, I've cleaned mansion-sized homes in 3 hours, and I know everybody thinks it's too good to be true, but when you read the book, you'll be like, it all makes sense. And so, that's the first part of the book. It kind of gets you in the right frame of mind, and it gets you set up. And then I think chapter 6 is where you just start. It just goes, and it says, this is what you do. And then the other thing too, you guys, is for those of you who don't think you have time to read the book, but I promise you do. I promise, and you will want to. You won't want to put it down. Is that I offer on the website, and all the information's in the book also. But you can also check it on the website if you don't have the book. But you can go ahead and print out. I did like printer-friendly guidelines, so that that's just black and white, right? Just words, not a lot of pictures. So you're not wasting a lot of ink. I'm an environmentalist, so I'm always thinking about that. And you can print out the guidelines, and so you can literally just take them and put them in the bucket with you. And so you do, for each chapter or each stage that you're at, you just follow the guidelines. And I did that for 2 reasons, right? One is you don't want to have to take a book in the room when you're cleaning. Like, okay, what do I do next? Because it's a narrative in the book, right? So with the guidelines, you just, now you've read the book, you've got the understanding, you go in and you just follow the guidelines. The thing about that is really cool is I challenge anybody to need more than 3 times. I think most people could do it after reading the guidelines twice. But I really don't think anybody would ever need to read the guidelines more than 3 times, because it just makes sense. When you see the system and you start to do it, you're like, oh my God, this is a piece of cake. It all is common sense. And
well, let me ask you this. So Tosh, what do you think of when you're coming home from, working in your bar? It's the last thing you want to do is clean your room, unless you're singing around in it, like, Mary Poppins or Julie Andrews, right? Because now we got to keep our rooms clean, our cars clean, our gyms clean, in the kitchen clean, right, Kendall? We got to do all the stuff because we don't need to have the wrong thing happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
And I find it interesting, Pauline, because the other day I was cleaning. It was my duty to clean the house, and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, so it's not big. It's not like a mansion. So, and it took me 6 hours to clean the house, and I was like, how can I decrease the time on this? Like, I literally, after I finished, I felt like I had worked at my job, and I was like, I'm ready to take a nap. So I'm intrigued to read this book, because
I don't know how old you are, but I wrote the book 33 years ago for you. I wrote the book for you.
I'm 26, so it probably was.
Yes, but I'm telling you, I wrote the book for you because you're the perfect person that I think about when, especially like moms, at the time I was a single mom, and I lived in Florida. My family was from New England, so I didn't have any support or child support, and so it was all up to me, go to school, work, take care of my daughter. And so I had to do it all. And that's how when I started developing the system, I couldn't stand it on the inside. I had to tell people. That's all I could think of, was I have to tell people this stuff. And I want you guys to know, 33 years ago, if you wanted to read a book, you had to do only 1 or 2 things, right? Go to a brick and mortar bookstore or go to the library. So what I did was I just thought, well, this is so cool, but I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So at the end of the day, I would pick up my daughter from daycare at 6 o'clock in the evening. We would go eat, and then I would run to the bookstore and literally sit on the floor in front of the section where it was like self-help. So that's where any of the cleaning tips. And I just looked through books for weeks. And I did the same thing at the library when I was at school. And I realized nobody has ever written a book like this. It's just tricks, right? Or tips, like how to clean a stain out of the carpet, or how to get rid of cat urine smell, or, that kind of stuff, right? So that's what made me is like, I have to tell everybody about this. Like, I just know. And so, and now, just before, while I was in the middle of publishing the book, I got the brainstorm. I'm like, oh, Pauline, you should check out Google, right? You don't have to sit on the floor in the library anymore, right? So I did, and I still could not find a cleaning system. It's all the same stuff from 33 years ago. So I'm telling you, a 2-bedroom place, if you read this book, I'm telling you, you're going to be the happiest camper. Because somebody asked me.
Well, let me interrupt you there, because I got to go to Kendall. I keep thinking of Kendall and Linda and the people that are helping are making all these great meals. But after you make these great meals and you're having them delivered or whatever, the last thing you want to do is clean, right? Yeah. You got to make sure the kitchen is clean ahead of time, and then you got to clean up afterwards. I can only imagine what you guys have to do. Expand on that.
I'm really good at leaving it for my mom to kind of handle. She's very particular about how things need to be cleaned and how they need to be placed when they're dry and when it's time to put them away. So I just kind of stand out.
Take the wheel.
Yeah, I'm like, you do your thing and I'll be over here.
That is true. However, in the industry that we are in, there is actually some very strict protocol that has to be followed. And so you have to clean in between whatever you're cutting up, whatever, there's different cleaning products for if you're cooking with, chicken and fish and so forth, and beef versus vegetables, so there's a lot of different types of rules that we have to follow. But when it comes to and even washing the dishes, same things. I mean, there's 3 sinks that we use, and so it's crazy the things you. But she's absolutely right. The way things are drying, the way things are placed, I am very regimented in the way I do things. In addition to the rules I follow.
Yeah. So nonstop. I didn't leave you out. You look good tonight. I know you're in the road. The last thing that you want to do when you've had that long day, when you're working at home, is you want to get up and go to the gym. But again, gyms have to be clean too. Talk about that.
About why the gym has to be clean?
No. Do you want to go to a dirty gym, right? You go to a private gym in a way. That's a big, huge thing.
I've been in all kinds of gyms. I've been in dirty gyms before, but I mean, I'm so determined that I'll still work out. But I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, I wear my gloves every time I'm at the gym. I mean, I just, that's the thing. And I always bring my hand sanitizer around the gym even before COVID. But what was your? I don't really understand, Brian, where you're going with this question about gym.
So I'm gonna go to Linda on this one. Linda, the gyms have to be clean. Even
I got this
now.
Yeah,
you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got this. So because I'm on the other end of it. Yeah, we not only are we. Even before COVID, I was a freak about my gym. Anytime anybody touched anything, breathed on anything, sat on anything, I made sure that there were plenty of gym wipes. We have gym wipes that they killed 99% of every virus out there, including COVID. And so we have 7 canisters throughout the gym. And the way that my membership base handles things, if somebody sees somebody not cleaning, they'll either clean up after them or they'll remind them, hey, don't forget to wipe that down before you walk away from it. I've seen people go, hey, are you done here? Yeah, okay. You need to wipe it down. You can't just walk away like that and act like, your mom's going to show up any minute to clean up after you.
Well, can I say one thing, Linda?
Sure.
I can say one thing that at Equinox, because I'm a member of Equinox, and they run around. They have a little guy that runs around and cleans up. I mean, it's constantly, cleaning. They were like that before COVID even.
Yep.
So
me too.
So
now we even spray stuff throughout the air because of COVID. We even do that. We take extra precautions now that we didn't used to do. And then my staff, of course, they clean the equipment every single night. Not only do they dust it, but they clean all of the places that anybody touches and breathes on.
And Pauline, you'll be happy because I endorsed her book. It's one of the things I won't let anybody into the studio until I've cleaned it. I make sure I wipe down everything because I'm real anal when it comes to that. I actually give out the elliptical hand sanitizer and the restroom kit, everything like that. And then as soon as the show is over, I go, okay, everybody get out so I can clean up. I got another show to do, and then I spray Lysol on the floor and all over. And because I've always done that, but I don't want anybody to come down with anything. I don't want anybody to ever say, hey, we came to your studio and we got sick. No, that's not going to happen, first of all. So that's why that's important to me. All right, Pauline, take it away.
But what I wanted to kind of clarify is the book itself is about weekly house cleaning. Okay. So it's, like I'm listening to you ladies and I'm juggling several balls too. I have an environmental company. I have a lot of other things going on. So I know where you're all coming from. And whether you just came back from traveling or just a long day, right? The house is going to get messy and dirty. And when you're got all this other stuff going on, the last thing you want is to come home at the end of the day. I don't care if it's 5 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, and you just sit down for a minute and have a snack or eat dinner or just watching something for a few minutes just to de-stress, The last thing you want is on your mind, just kind of looking around and thinking about, oh, now I have to clean the house. The weekly house cleaning thing is like, oh my God, right? So, that's where I really, really, really targeted was the whole weekly house cleaning, because my thought is this: if you can nip that in the bud, if you can get that done in 3 hours every week, right? And some people, when you did it once 1 week, some people don't even need to do it again for another 2 weeks. So, like I said, it's all about you and your lifestyle. But the point is that house cleaning thing, the thing where you live, is not on your mind 24/7. It's done, because I talk about how it's not only the amount of time that it takes to actually clean the house. It's all the time it's on our minds. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that, right? You're always thinking, oh, I need to clean the house. Oh, I need to clean the house. And it doesn't go away, right? And so when it's done, so I kind of generalize, right? And I talk about, 9 o'clock Saturday morning is when we're going to start cleaning, because a lot of people will clean on the weekends. And by noontime, your house is clean. It's done. It's over. You've got the whole weekend to do whatever the heck you want to do. And it's not on your mind, So with all the stuff you guys have with, all the businesses and the outside businesses, right? The gyms and the whole 9 yards, is that you have to clean your home too, the space that you live in. And you want to feel good about that. And when you feel good about yourself and where you're living and where you're waking up and where you're eating and where you're going to bed, when that feels good, everything else can come on your mind and you have room to deal with that. And it's a lighter attitude. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Pauline, there's one tip that I use myself. I don't know if it's in your book. I haven't read your book yet, but when I'm getting into my shower, I'll clean my shower. Like I'll spray my shower down and then I'll go into my shower ready to get showered, but I bring all my cleaning, rags and scrubbers and everything. I don't know if that's a time saver or not. What do you think about that?
I thought I was the only one that did that.
Yeah. It's just easier. Otherwise it's dripping on your arms and stuff,
Yeah. So it depends. Again, it's about you, in the book, the shower, like the bathroom, let's face it, the bathroom's where we spend the most time, where it gets the most dirty, where it needs to be the cleanest, right? So I think the printout for that's 3 pages long, where like some of the other ones is just 1, and I make it fat print just so it takes up space on the page, but the bathroom it's a chore. It takes the most amount of time. And if you find the right products, and what I tell people is ask your friends, ask your family, what works for you, and experiment, but if you find the right product and the right tools, I'm telling you guys, man, it is everything. It's everything. If you're just using something, I won't mention any stores, but something inexpensive, you get what you pay for. So, whether you do research to say, hey, what's the best blah, 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 or whether you pay attention to my social media and say, what's the best, somebody that, do you remember Dave, Brian, with Hasmark? Like, oh my God, he was all about the windows. And I was explaining to him that, yes, the product is important, and I have a recommendation, the best window cleaner ever. But the microfiber, there are special cloths now that they make just for windows that make all the difference in the world. And so So, those things are time savers, right? That's why we talk about them, how to set yourself up. So everything is right there all the time. When you read the book, you're going to see you're never running around from room to room to room. Everything you're doing is in your room, and you don't leave until you're done.
And give your website.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, did you say give the website?
Yep.
Oh, it's so hard to remember. It's www.paulineirenestacey.com. There it is.
All right. So now we go into cleaning. We go into cooking. All right. So new macro-made meals. What do you guys have new? What's coming up now? Kendall, you start first.
Trying to think. Honestly, we are just really focusing on getting better at what we have to offer right now before we jump the gun and start anything new. We were going to start the kids menu, and we were going to be working on shipping out of state, but we realized that a lot of that can't really happen until we pretty much perfect what we're doing now, which is we do breakfast meals, lunch meals, dinner meals, and we do snacks like cookies and egg muffins and stuff like that. So we're really just trying to build up our clientele as much as we can and give the best product that we can out there for now.
Give me two favorites that you like. What are your two favorites off the top of your head?
Well, we're not offering it right now, but I will be putting it back on the menu very soon. The burrito bowl is my favorite, and trying to think what else. There's so many different options. It's really neat because you can go in online and you can pick and choose what you want in your meals. So you can pick your protein, your side, your veggie, your sauce. So I love pasta personally. I like any type of ground beef mixed with pasta and marinara sauce with maybe some broccoli, something like that. Those are my favorite types of meals, and we make them healthy too. So that's the plus side.
What about for the sweet tooth? Because I need that. Sometimes that's an issue that I have cravings. So
yeah, so we offer gluten-free, dairy-free protein cookies. They're dark chocolate chip cookies, and they are so delicious.
Amazing.
It's probably my favorite cookies that I've ever had in my entire life.
Agreed. I'm the same way.
You know what? Actually, chocolate's a really good antioxidant. People don't really realize that, and I just take a little bit of dark chocolate that kind of gets rid of my craving. But I think all of us in fitness, it's like, especially when you're prepped, you're just like, I just want something sweet. So something that's not too
Terry, you would love these, and they come 3 in a pack, and honestly, they're so rich that even having just one is all you need. So one pack will last you 3 days. Just one a day is all you need.
I would love to try that because I get these cravings for sweets, and it's just like, sometimes it's really hard to find something that satisfies that craving, because a lot of the protein bars and stuff have that plastic taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't do it.
No,
it's like, okay, well, it kind of
They taste nothing like protein bars. Nothing, because I don't like protein bars either.
Yeah.
Kendall, someone wanted to know, did you see the tag there?
Yeah. No, I did not go to culinary school. I pretty much just taught myself everything.
You learned a lot by going to your mom's gym, though, didn't you?
Yeah. So the reason I started it is because we were kind of meal prepping for ourselves, just as a family, and we were taking pictures, posting it online, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so good! Like, how did you make that? What's the recipe?" And they all knew that they were healthy meals too. But so then a lot of my mom's clients started noticing, and they mentioned, like, why don't you make meals for me for the week? I'll pay you. I'll pay whatever, because I don't have time, or I don't know how to cook, or whatever the excuse might be. That's pretty much how we got started.
And Linda, since you're the nutrition part of stuff, take it away.
that was exactly why my clients jumped on board. They knew that I was going to be making sure that the food was healthy. I mean, that's how we were doing our family meal prep. And it would be, me and my daughters, and even their boyfriends would join in. And so the pictures we were taking, they were fun. I mean, the guys are drinking beers in the background, but we were all getting everything done. It just looked like a really fun, Sunday fun day for the family. But they knew, my clients knew that I was making everything healthy. So that's why they said, can you cook for me? I don't want to do it. And I said, I do not have time for that. And Kendall said, I do, and I'm going to make a business out of it. And so she did. Yeah. And it was probably about a year into it, she brought me on board into the company to be the nutrition expert on board, because I was the one who had, but she was doing all the cooking. She was doing everything herself. And every now and again, she would, ask me questions about, olive oil or, healthy this or healthy that. I mean, Macro Made Meals is the name of the company. So we have to be macro friendly. So I jumped on board and I started to, again, get really detailed with the macros. People count macros. Macros, for those of you who don't know what that is, that would be a calorie, a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat. So there's macronutrients and there's micronutrients. Micronutrients would be more like your vitamins and minerals. So I was there counting macros, and I would, she'd come up with a grand idea of on her favorites menu. And I would say, that sounds delicious, but those macros, if someone's trying to lose weight, I'm not sure if that's going to be so good for them. So I would make some tweaks and adjustments to make things work so that people could actually eat her meals, eat healthy, lose weight, but have a delicious meal at the same time.
And what are two of your favorites that you like?
Right now, I love the eggplant Parmesan. That's one of my favorite. And the zucchini shrimp boat. Those are on the favorites menu this month. And both of them, I love them. Anything with the shrimp. And I love the way Kendall makes salmon. I never liked salmon my whole life. Now I don't
eat salmon ever, but I can make a really good salmon.
It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, anything with the salmon, if I'm gonna do my make my own, it would be a salmon with a couple sides. Her Brussels sprouts are great, and probably the rice I would do together. But the shrimp, the zucchini boat, outstanding.
So Tosh, what are you thinking? Which one sounds good? Linda's choices or Kendall's choices?
I'm honestly so hungry right now that all of them sound amazing. But I do gotta say the eggplant Parmesan sounds delicious. Just because I had the other day a stuffed eggplant, like a healthy one, and I was amazed of how good an eggplant tastes. I never tasted an eggplant, and I was like, this tastes really good. Like, it doesn't taste like it doesn't taste like nothing. Like, it has I don't even know what to describe the taste, but it was really good to my palate, and I was surprised. So I have a whole eggplant in my fridge right now, which I'm thinking of cooking, but honestly, I don't know. I'll probably have some cereal.
You're gonna have time to cook an eggplant. It's definitely not easy. You have to know.
There's a lot of steps. There's a lot of steps in cooking the eggplant parm.
Yeah.
I just usually grill eggplant. We have a grill. I got one of the gifting suites. I don't know, Brian, you were with me. It's a Japanese grill, and you just put water in it, and I just grill my zucchini on that. Actually, all my vegetables. I don't use any oil. It's awesome.
How did I miss that gifting suite?
This was like maybe 3
Don't worry,
years
Linda.
ago.
We got a bunch of great things coming up.
Okay, good. I'm there.
So
ahead,
can I throw something in there
Okay,
real quick?
go ahead, Pauline. Go ahead.
The reason why she's too tired to cook and wants to make a bowl of cereal is because she spends 6 hours cleaning her house.
Yeah, that could be.
Sarah, you were saying something
Yeah, I want to ask Pauline about the cleaning. See, I am I'm just going to put it out there because everybody knows, and I'm ADD, so I'm all over the place. So I'll do something here, I'll do something there, and how
Yes.
does that address somebody like me that's completely ADD who's all over the place because I can't get enough stuff done in the day? Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is, I wasn't ever thinking about that when I wrote the book, But when I started publishing it, and when you publish a book, you have to read it over 1 million times, because you got to proof everything all the time. And it really dawned on me, because I've been accused of being ADD. I'm not, but I am a perfectionist, But that's the beauty of the book, is it's the system. That it just guides you so that you're not all over the map. So you sound like the person I was describing at the beginning, right? It was like starting with the dishes and then in the bathroom and all over the place.
And then also when you live by yourself too, you're not so, I mean, a lot of times you just let stuff go because, who cares?
Yes, exactly.
I know that's a bad attitude, but like I got so much stuff going on that.
Yeah, I get that 100%. I remember when my daughter would leave for the summer sometimes to go see my family, and I was in school, and oh my God, I realized that's why I did dishes and kept my house clean, because as a role model for her, because when you're by yourself, no one knows, no one cares, right?
No one cares.
But no, it will help you tremendously, because you can't, if you follow the system, you can't get off track. You can't, you won't. Because you've got the one product in your hand. Let's say it's the dusting, for example, like this even teaches you what room to start in and then where to start in the room, right? So let's say you like to start from the right, okay? So you start in and you go to the right and you go from top to bottom and you just dust everything that needs to be dusted in that room. So you're working in a circle, so the only things in your hands is the dust cloth and the can. So you can't do anything else, and you were going to remember the rules. If you start to see something out of place and you're like, I'm going to put that, nope, that's breaking the rules. I got to follow the rules, right? And just do that. So then you got one whole room dusted. Then you go to the next room. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know, however big, like it could be 15, 20 minutes. Or maybe a half hour, however many rooms need to be dusted. But when you're done, the whole house is dusted. Now we're going to go on to something else. So it'd be like glass products, for example, So I highly recommend that you read the book, because I'm sorry for keep repeating that, but I'm just telling you guys, it's the answer to all your dreams. It will help.
All right, Josh. Tell Pauline what you do. Go ahead, Josh.
So I am a Latin pop singer-songwriter based in Miami.
Yay. I'm in West Palm Beach.
Okay, so we're semi-close. We're in the same, time zone as everyone else. And yeah, that's music has always been a passion of mine since I was young, but I was like too scared and kind of misguided by a lot of people about, pursuing music because of all it's hard and all this stuff. So during the pandemic, I just had a moment to myself. A midlife crisis, you would say. Yeah. And I was like, really? Yeah, it happens.
It gets better. Wait.
So I was like, oh man, Terry. But that's what happened to me. I had a moment and I was like, okay, this is the time. And I decided to start working with a producer, writing original music, because I would do a lot of covers and I would sing with cover bands. But I wanted to explore the genre that I wanted to be in, and that was Latin pop. I'm very influenced heavily by Shakira, J-Lo. So a lot of, when you listen to my music, you kind of get those vibes, those tropical beat vibes. And I have some great news that, I'll be announcing on Monday, but I'm just going to let you guys know since we're talking about it. I am releasing my next single next Friday, and I am beyond ecstatic because it's been a long time since I've released a song, and I wanted to perfect it, and I directed the music video. So it's like this feeling that I get every time I talk about music, that I'm like, I'm doing the right thing. So if you like Latin music, definitely take a listen to my song in any streaming platform. You can just find me as Natasha Rumbos. And yeah, just wait on it. I'm going to be on the top 100 Billboard Latin Hot charts one day.
Yes, you are.
Yay.
Awesome. Good for you.
That's awesome.
Hey, Kendall, for the audience that may not know, talk about how you started out before. What were you doing before you were in your mom's gym?
At what point?
She started working for me when she was 13, Brian.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So before that, she was coloring maybe at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to tell you what to do, Linda, huh?
She's the
Now
boss
I'm
of
the
me.
boss.
I
Yeah.
was invited to go golfing on a Friday, and I was like, I got to check with the boss. I don't know if I can get out of work. I had to ask her, what's our load look like this Friday? And she said, no. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I can't work. Paybacks are hell.
How do you, because Kendall, what are words of inspiring people your age that need inspiration for things who haven't decided what they may want to do?
Well, honestly, I would just say that it's just really important to have a good support system, because being a business owner is not as easy as everyone might make it seem. So I would say that if you have a great support system, even if you don't, honestly, if you just believe in yourself, you can do anything you want to do. You can take whatever it is that you're doing, you can make it as big or as small as you want it to be, basically. But it really is just up to you, and you have to want it. You have to want to be successful.
Good advice. And then what do you got left for between now and the end of the year for Macro-Made? So we got some good holidays coming up. What do you suggest for people who might not be able to get Macro-Made meals yet? What do you say?
I would say just follow me on Instagram. We post pictures of our food all the time. You can get ideas from there. Or I don't know, Linda. What would you say?
I don't know. I mean, we have.
Linda, what would you say?
It's soup season coming up. You know, we have also pumpkin spice season is coming up. This is a big time of year. We have coming up, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we do cater as well. It's not just meals. We do, trays of chicken, trays of fish and so forth, trays of veggies. So we
for people who can't get our meals or our catering, what would you suggest for those people?
Ooh. Yeah, follow us for ideas, because we post just about everything that we have.
Or just move to Chicago so you can get Macro-Made meals.
Move to Chicago. Move within the surrounding states, because we can ship overnight to surrounding states.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay, Linda, real quickly, tell her about yourself, and then what do you want to have happen for your gym? You got more people coming in. Congratulations.
Thank you. So about myself, I'm going to make it fast because I know we only have a couple minutes left.
You can take your time. You're Linda Steele.
Oh, okay. So I own a gym in Chicago, and I also have an online business where I train virtually. I have clients all over the world, from Germany to the UK to the East Coast, the West Coast. And I also train, the locals in my gym, which is great. And I even train people from Chicago virtually, though, because not everybody wants to take the drive. And along with that, I have a website where I offer nutrition plans, workout plans. I'm working on a few tonight for people who just purchased some. I have a glamour section as well. And I'm a co-host with Brian for years, on and off.
Yay!
Yep. I also have worked with the UK Health Radio and UK Health Triangle in their magazine. I have some of my cooking shows in their magazine, their online magazine. So
she's got a future book coming out too.
I have a future book coming out, and boy, am I glad to hear that it took you 33 years to publish this, because I was really getting down on myself that I've been writing this book for like 2 years. I'm like 33. This is not a problem. Okay.
Okay, we got 60 seconds left to write nonstop. You get the last word. Go.
What do you want to know?
Tell Pauline about what you do.
Oh, okay. I have been a fitness competition competitor. I do a little bit of acting. I have been one of Brian's co-hosts for we're going on 7 years now. My forte is really like red carpet interviews. And that's what I love to do. And then also I'm a business person, and juggling a lot in life right now. So we'll see. I've got some new things that I'm going to be trying out, but I'll save that for later.
And with that, hey, I got to thank everybody. I think my sound held up. I'm happy. I'm glad that Macromade is doing well. I can't wait to get some more things. We are getting into that holiday season. It's coming. The year will be finished really quickly. And then you got to learn how to clean correctly, Kendall.
Yeah.
And then Pauline, thank you for coming on, and congratulations on being a bestseller and working on being an international bestseller, because I'm sure it's a good book, especially the parts that I read so far. Tosh, keep up your good work nonstop. I'll see you pretty soon. And as I say this, and please say hi to your mom, and I wish her speedy recovery for that, because it's important. I know she means a great deal to the family there and people of Chicago. Yeah. So with this, as we say, people around the world, if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world definitely needs it. Go on Macromade Meals website, check out their stuff. If you stop in Chicago, stop into Linda's gym. She'll be happy to train you. And also go on to website for Pauline Irene Stacey. All right. So I will see everybody next week, and thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.